Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed this Korean drama a lot, with all the food, porn, and romance chemistry between Lee Chae-min and Yoona. But there are some flaws here. Let's go through them together, and at the same time enjoy the sweet moments of the king and Cook Yeon. Stay until the end to see the full breakdown, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so I can make more analysis videos about hot dramas for you. That finale was unhinged, Prada, plot armor, and zero explanations. Let's just rip the band-aid off. That finale was bonkers in the worst way possible. So the drama ends with Ji-young waking up in the future after getting stabbed, and suddenly everyone from the Joseon era has modern-day doppelgangers or descendants working at her royal cuisine restaurant. The court chefs are back as line cooks, giving major reincarnation vibes, but also, why? It feels forced, like the writers needed a cute callback, but did not think it through. But here is the real kicker. Lee Hyun, our tyrannical king, just casually appears in modern Seoul. And I am not talking about some confused time traveler in Hanbok looking lost at a subway station. No, he shows up in a whole tailored Prada suit with a modern haircut like he just stepped out of GQ Korea. The show gives us zero context about how he got there, where he has been living, how he got money, or why he is dressed like he is about to close a business deal in Gangnam. Like, did he spawn at a luxury boutique? Did someone hand him a credit card and say, "Welcome to capitalism, here are some designer threads"? Look, we all knew time travel dramas with happy endings require suspended disbelief. But there is, let us not overthink the magic book, and then there is, our boy teleported 500 years into the future and somehow acquired modern drip with zero culture shock. The logistics are killing me. Even a quick montage of him figuring out smartphones, getting an ID, or working at a convenience store would have helped. Instead, we get suit and tie king with his memories intact, acting like he has been here for years. The audacity is honestly impressive, but it is also lazy writing disguised as romance. Fans wanted answers, not a fashion show. Pacing disasters and pointless deaths that ruin the vibe. Now let us talk about how the finale tried to cram an entire season's worth of plot into 30 minutes and failed spectacularly. The pacing throughout the show was already messy. Repetitive cooking competitions, endless "this dish is orgasmic" reactions that you could fast forward through by episode 7. But those final episodes? Absolute chaos. Suddenly, the tone shifts from lighthearted rom-com to Game of Thrones, with Prince Jason staging a coup, framing Lee Hyun for murder, and putting his half-brother Jin Myung on the throne. And then the show just starts killing people. The royal food taster, that sweet lady who literally just tasted food and was adorable doing it, gets murdered for no narrative reason. She had zero plot significance, and her death added nothing except shock value. The eunuch? Dead. The king's friend? Also dead. These were not meaningful sacrifices that drove the story forward. They were just bodies dropping to make things feel serious. It is giving, we ran out of ideas, so let us add tragedy. But here is where it gets truly unhinged. Lee Hyun's army is basically decimated. We are talking near total annihilation. Yet, somehow in the finale, his remaining soldiers storm back into the palace, defeat Jisun's forces, and take out the villains including Consort Kang, all off-screen or in like 2 minutes of screen time. How? With what troops? The math is not mathing. It is pure plot armor for the heroes, while the bad guys conveniently lose their strategic advantage. Fans are rightfully calling this out as lazy resolution, because if you are going to make us sit through unnecessary deaths, at least make the victory believable. This felt like the writers wrote themselves into a corner and just said, the good guys win now, without earning it. Character inconsistencies, wasted talent, and hilariously bad Chinese. Let us address the character development, or lack thereof. Yeon Ji-young starts as this confident 21st century chef who is innovating Joseon cuisine like a boss. But by the middle of the series, her personality is all over the place. One episode, she is strategically navigating palace politics. The next, she is acting childlike and naive for no reason. It is like the writers could not decide if she was supposed to be a strong female lead or a damsel who needs saving, so they just alternated randomly. And the wasted potential? Criminal. Kang Han Na as Consort Kang should have been this complex, layered villain with real motivations. Instead, she is reduced to a one-note antagonist with supernatural plot armor who is always magically one step ahead until suddenly she is not. This actress deserved better than generically evil consort number 47. Supporting characters who could have added depth got sidelined for more cooking montages that we had already seen 10 times. But can we talk about the Ming Dynasty envoys? Every single time these men opened their mouths to speak Chinese, Korean viewers were in the comments absolutely roasting the pronunciation. We are talking, did they learn this on Google Translate 5 minutes before filming? Levels of bad. It became a running joke. People would brace themselves whenever the envoys appeared because they knew some butchered Mandarin was coming. For a show trying to depict historical diplomatic relations, having the foreign representatives sound like they are reading phonetic cue cards completely kills the immersion. It is giving high school language class presentation energy, and viewers noticed immediately. Romanticizing a tyrant who admits he has done terrible things. Alright, here is the uncomfortable truth. Lee Hyun is loosely based on Yeon Sang-gun, literally Joseon's most tyrannical king. Mass murders, assaults, banning Korean alphabet, closing universities, any teen C, this man's historical legacy is horrific. And the drama's entire premise is, but what if a cute chef could fix him with food and vibes? That is already ethically messy. But what makes it worse is that the show acknowledges this. In the final episodes, Lee Hyun straight up admits to his uncle Jason, the guy overthrowing him, that he has committed terrible acts in the past to avenge his mother's death. He does not deny his crimes. He owns them. So we are supposed to root for a romance with someone who confesses to being a vengeful tyrant? The cognitive dissonance is wild. This is not some ambiguous, was he really that bad situation. The drama tells us he did awful things, shows us glimpses of his cruelty, and then expects us to swoon when he smiles at Ji Young over bibimbap. It is the "I can fix him" trope taken to an extreme that feels disrespectful to the real historical victims. Reddit went off comparing this to romanticizing Ted Bundy or making Hitler a love interest. And honestly, the comparison is not that far off when you think about the scale of Yeon Sang-gun's actual atrocities. Sure, the alternate timeline angle suggests Ji Young's influence prevents his worst actions, but that does not erase what he has already done, or the ethical question of why we are supposed to find this romantic. Historical controversies that had Korean viewers in shambles. Beyond the romance issues, the show sparked legitimate historical controversies that went viral. First up, the Hanja disaster in episode 1. There's this big banner that is supposed to say Taepyeong Sengdae, prosperous area, but someone used the wrong character Taepyeong Singda instead of Taepyeong Singdae. Basically wrote peaceful holy big instead of peaceful holy era. Korean Twitter screenshotted it immediately and the roasts were merciless. People were like, did nobody proofread this? Then came the Ming Dynasty envoy controversy around episodes 5 and 6. The show depicted the Joseon king sitting equal to or bowing to Ming representatives, which critics dragged as historical distortion that undermined Korean sovereignty. The backlash was intense. People accused it of catering to Chinese audiences with that subservient Korea energy. The whole thing spiraled into Korea-China historical tensions, which is way too heavy for what is supposed to be a fluffy time travel rom-com. So, do you agree with these flaws above? Or do you have other ones you noticed? Comment below. And do not forget to subscribe to my channel so I have the motivation to make more analysis videos about hot K-dramas for you.